What's going on, guys? Max here, bringing y'all another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to re-drill your skateboard's wheelbase using the Chem's Wheelbase Re-Drill Toolkit. Now, before we get to re-drilling our skateboard's wheelbase, I'm just going to kind of go over what my setup is right now, kind of what's been going on the last 2 weeks. I know the last time that some of you guys saw me was our last video 2 weeks ago, where I set up the anti-hero green giant. And while I had a really fun time setting this board up and doing the grip job and everything, as you guys saw, at least who watched the video, when I actually took this board to the skate park and rode it after we built it, I was not having a great time on it. I don't know, I've been riding popsicle shapes and stuff and egg boards for the longest time. I haven't ridden like a shaped old school deck like this in quite a while, probably not in over a year. And I was just not really messing with the shape, man. I don't know if it was the square tail or how it kind of like tapered toward the back and got smaller, but tricks like shove-its were not working well. Even, I don't know, just everything that I tried at the skate park that day took me like two or three tries longer than it normally would. Stuff that would take first try would take 4 or 5 tries on this board. Now there's a lot of factors to that. Maybe I was just so used to this board. We also were switching our wheels at the time, so there was quite a few factors at play. But after that session, I kind of just took the trucks and wheels off of the anti-hero green giant and put them back on my 9.5-inch Scram popsicle that I had been riding the couple months prior to setting this board up. And honestly, after switching back to this with the bigger wheels, things have been feeling really, really good. One of my biggest problems with this board is I thought it was getting too old and a lot of tricks were feeling weird. But now looking back on that situation, I'm pretty sure it's just because our wheels had gotten so small on this setup. The previous wheels I had on here before putting these new wheels on were like 45 millimeters or something crazy, maybe like 47 millimeters. So the pop and rolling through stuff and transition, everything was feeling, I don't know, kind of soggy and slow. But once I put these fresh wheels back on our old deck, it felt pretty revitalized. Like in transition, it's been feeling good. Board slides, snow slide, everything's been feeling really good with these wheels, being able to get speed. Honestly, here, let me just show you all a couple clips from this past week's riding on this setup with the new wheels. So as you guys can see, I've been tearing it up in the transition with this thing. The axle stall, like back 50 slashes are feeling good. I've been able to roll around and do my slappies easier, everything like that. The only thing that I haven't been digging with this board is maybe with the big wheels in alignment with this big 15-inch wheelbase. My pop has felt very off. It's felt a lot heavier with the big wheels, especially with the big wheelbase, and going up stuff, down stuff. I've been ghost popping a lot. I've been clipping on the curbs when I ollie up them. And that's not something that I'm super down for, especially also since we've been like trying to learn some new flat ground tricks like heel flips and whatnot. Having that smaller pop has not felt the greatest. So I figured what a better time than to make a video and a little tutorial on using the Chem's Wheelbase Re-Drill Kit. That was a mouthful. Sorry about that. The Chem's Wheelbase Re-Drill Toolkit. So what I'm thinking about today is just nothing crazy. We're just gonna move the front truck back a 1/4 inch. I wanna give it a 14.75-inch wheelbase. Should be pretty standard. Gonna give it probably like, it'll have, right now I'm not sure on the exact measurement. I think this has like a 7.1-inch nose right now. So this is gonna have like a 7.35-inch nose after we re-drill it. So I love having a big nose on my board. I think 14.75 is still gonna give us a lot of stability, like when we're riding in the half pipe and doing transition, while giving us just a quicker snap, especially with these bigger wheels. And hopefully our flat ground and our ollies and stuff are gonna get a little bit extra height without feeling too drastic of a change. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. To start things off, I'm gonna time lapse. I'm gonna have to take the front truck off. And I'm also going to take these front 2 pieces of grip tape off, just so I can put a fresh layer of grip on the top. We're not going to probably be riding this 9.5-inch much longer, just because we have been riding it now almost 3 months. So it is getting some razor tail and whatnot. But I figured since this is an older setup and we're not super used to using this tool yet, it'll be good practice and there's not a lot of risk involved with drilling into this board since we've already ridden it for so long. Well, so without further ado, I'm going to quit blabbering about this and time-lapse this next part of getting the setup ready, and then we will kind of go over all of the different tools that came with this kit, and then we will show it in use and try to revitalize this setup even more. So we are halfway done to revitalizing this awesome 9.5-inch Scram popsicle deck that we've been riding for the last few months. Took off the front truck, took off that little 2-piece section of grip tape that was over the nose in the front truck, just so we have a fresh starting point where once we actually re-drill the wheelbase and put the truck back on, we won't see those exposed holes because we're going to have a whole fresh layer of grip tape on there. And yeah, pro tip if you didn't know, if you want to take old grip tape off to re-grip a board, as you saw in the time lapse, just use a hair dryer. You got to just put it for maybe 30 seconds, maybe even 60 seconds, and it'll get hot enough to where you can actually find a little piece to start kind of peeling off. And if you go slowly enough, but with enough strength and steady enough, the grip tape really comes off very seamlessly. As you can tell, it did not take much to get those front 2 pieces off. So now it's going to be time to actually use the Chem's Wheelbase re-drill kit and actually give this some new wheels, man, and make it a 14.75-inch wheelbase. So before we actually drill into it, let me just show you what came with the kit, and you can kind of see what else you need. You have to go buy your own drill if you don't have one, but I was able to get one at Harbor Freight for like $15, just whatever the cheapest one was works, as long as it fits that drill bit, which the drill bit they give you actually is pretty universal, I believe. I'm not a big hardware guy. I might just be like talking out my butt right now, but yeah, let me just show you what it came with, and then we can start actually showing how it works and do this thing. So here we go. All right, guys, so here we are. This is basically everything it came with right here, and this is the drill that I got additionally from Harbor Freight. You're not gonna be able to see my face right now, but I'm just gonna kind of go over everything and hold it up to the camera. Starting with the main piece of this mod kit. This is solid metal. It has all of the increments going in 1/4 inch. It starts at 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, a full inch, 1 1/4, and then finally you can drill it back all the way to 1.5 inches. Theoretically, you could go back further. You could drill to the 1.5 inches, then reinsert it down there, and then just keep drilling down. So yeah, this is a really great tool. It's very solid metal. It has these nice 4 pegs that will fit into any skateboard with pre-existing holes for truck mounts. These go in pretty sturdy. You have to kind of knock it in there, at least from my experience, but once it's in there, it doesn't really come out, especially if you put a little pressure onto it. So it holds really well inside the skateboard. And yeah, like I said, this one comes in 1/4 inch increments, and they also have another version that comes in 3/8 increments. Sorry, this is such a mouthful for me. The 3/8 one, I believe, was like $20 cheaper when I looked on their website. But I always kind of look at skateboards with 1/4 inch increments as far as wheelbase goes, because most skateboards, let's be real, it's either like a 14, 14.25, 14.5, 14.75, or 15 inch. I feel like those are like the standard skateboard wheelbases. They're all within 1/4 inch of each other. You don't see a lot of middle-sized wheelbases. Occasionally you see like a 14.375. But for what I'm used to and what I wanted to use this for, basically, I just went with the 1/4 increment. And this cost me about $50. I think it was like $5 in shipping. So really not bad for a tool that I'm probably going to be using for years and years to come. So yeah, this is the main piece. This is the drill bit that it comes with. Very nice solid metal as well. Here is the, this does not come with it, but this is the actual drill that I got from Harbor Freight for $15. It's a cordless drill, comes with a battery pack, 12 volt. Basically all you need for doing something like this. You're gonna wanna do it on low speed. So very nice drill for this. You're just gonna insert this side that is not like twisted. I don't know the like real name for all this tool stuff, but the side that's just totally like flat and smooth, you're gonna insert into the bit. And then you're going to tighten it around by turning it all the way to the right. And then once it's sturdy in there, it's not going to be going anywhere. And then once your drill is actually turned on, which it has the battery pack in it right now, you're ready to go. And you can drill backwards or forwards with one of these drills. In the video of the Green Giant, I was messing up because I did not know that, because I'm not a big power tool guy. And I was drilling this way, basically backwards, and it was not drilling the new wheelbase for me on the Green Giant. And after I sent a video to the actual owner of Chem's, he corrected me very politely. He was not a dick about it at all. He was actually very nice. So shout out to their customer service. The actual dude who runs the Instagram, I'm pretty sure the owner, actually responded to me within 5 minutes. Basically told me what to do, just was very polite. So thank you and shout out to them for their customer service. Even just for that, you should buy from them and support them. Just knowing that the owner's there and he's willing to respond and help his customers. And then, yeah, anyway, it came with some stickers as well, some fingerboard stickers, as well as just a big Chem sticker. So very cool with that. And then it comes with the instruction kit. I'm pretty sure we've kind of covered everything that we need to here. I'm gonna go get a safety mask and safety goggles on, and then we can start doing the tutorial here on how to use this thing, and we can get the new wheelbase on our deck. All right, guys, so here we are. I hope you can see me okay and that I sound okay. I got the N95 mask on and the goggles. It might be overkill for some of you guys, but since we're promoting this to all age groups and whatnot, I just kind of want to promote safety first. We're gonna be having wood and medical particles in the air. That's definitely not good to get into your eyes or your respiratory system. So we want to protect our lungs and our eyes. And we can still, do cool stuff like this, but we want to practice safety. And I want to promote that to at least younger kids and whatnot. So I'm just giving that disclaimer that you should always use safety gear, just if you want to protect your health and whatnot. But without further ado, let's get to re-drilling this wheelbase. So you're going to want to use the bottom side of the board just like this. We're going to use those 4 pegs into the existing holes. And they're going to go in pretty snugly, pretty tightly. This one actually, for this particular board, the holes are big enough to where it did fit pretty easily just now. And like I said, we're just going to be going 1/4 increments. So just these first 4 were what we're going to drill into. From there, we're just going to make sure our drill is drilling to the right, which it is right now. And then we're just going to slowly insert it, apply a minimal amount of pressure, and just go at a low speed until it goes all the way through, and just keep it steady. And just like that, we did the first hole. Whenever you want to pull it back out, I recommend switching the drill back to the reverse. So when you're pulling out, there's not a lot of friction and you can come straight out. But from there, let's get to the second hole. Easy peasy. Hole number 2, done. All right, one more hole to go and we will be done. All right, guys, let's get the dust away and see our new wheelbase. Absolutely beautiful. This went way, way more smoothly than when we did the Green Giant. And you can see there's enough space in between the holes where we're not going to have any structural damage. So this was a very big success. Now that we're finished up, I just kind of want to show the aftermath and give a little closer look at our new holes. Once it focuses. So you can see there's a bit of a gap between the 15-inch and 14.75-inch wheelbase that we just created. Nothing huge, but there is enough wood in between to where there will be hopefully no structural damage. As far as I could tell on the Green Giant, everything felt fine when we did this. And we will definitely be keeping a close eye on it. But from what I've seen from everyone else using this tool online as well, there should be no problems. And we have good enough holes here to where we should have no problem mounting our truck back on here after we re-grip it. So I'm very, very excited. One thing that I did have to do is I kind of went back in with the drill a little bit on the top just to remove some of the wood that had gotten stuck, just at a very, very low speed. So you might have to clean up the top. Just be very careful and make sure to always drill very slowly when you're doing this, and make sure to always drill very steadily and very straight. But overall, I'm very pleased with how this job came out, especially compared to how much we struggled with this the first time. So I'm actually getting a pretty good hang of this tool now. All right, man, so now that we re-drilled the wheelbase and everything's looking pretty good, I'm gonna go ahead and time-lapse us putting the truck back on and re-gripping this board, because I know you guys aren't here to watch all that and it's gonna take a little bit of time. But after that, I'll give my final thoughts on how this whole process went. And then the next couple days, we're gonna try riding this new wheelbase and see if it's helped or hurt any of our tricks, and just give a final little update. But for now, I'm gonna time-lapse, like I said, once again, and just get this board rideable once again. So here we go. So here we are with the completed revitalized setup. Fresh new sheet of grip tape on top right there, right where our new wheelbase is. I know it's probably like very minimal to tell the before and after, especially since we just went back a 1/4 inch. But I can definitely tell that the nose is looking quite a bit bigger. I think, like I said, we have like a 7.3 inch nose now. So that already is gonna feel so good for any type of nose stall or nose slide tricks that we do. It's gonna give us a lot more room whenever we're popping up and catching our ollies with our front foot. For us learning flip tricks, we're gonna have a lot bigger of a nose to actually flick over, especially with our heel flips and stuff. So I'm actually very, very excited. It's also gonna be nice to have some fresh grip tape up front, because we've been riding this same grip tape, I don't know, almost 3 months now. I'm very pleased, honestly, that this deck is still holding up so well. I mean, you can see like our deck rails are starting to get a little twisted up and beat up. Our nose specifically is also getting very torn up from the slappies and stuff. But now you can see actually on the very bottom right here, you can see where our old wheelbase used to lie. So you can tell that it did get brought back a decent amount. I mean, this whole sliver right here, so about a 1/4 inch. And then yeah, looking back, we're getting some razor tail on this thing, but overall, I think we should be able to ride this for at least another 2-3 weeks. And I'm glad that we got to get some practice with this wheelbase re-drill kit on a pre-existing setup, so we can kind of test the feel of it, and then kind of go from there. And also, if anything did go wrong, it's like, well, at least we've already ridden this setup for several months and it's not a huge deal. But anyways, yeah, it was very seamless, as you guys saw. I feel like less is more when you're using this tool. What you really want to do, like I said, is be slow and steady rather than try to quickly get it done. But overall, like, I'm very, very happy that I've gotten this tool. Chem's is a great company. Shout out to them. This video is not over yet. I kind of want to go test this out over the next couple days and then kind of report back how the new wheelbase is feeling, just to also get some good riding clips in this video as well. But that'll be it for at least tonight's little segment. And I will see you guys again once we're back on the board and testing out this new wheelbase. All right, guys, so it's actually a full 24 hours later since we actually re-drilled the wheelbase and did all that last night. Basically had work all day today, didn't get off until it was basically dark. Just ate some dinner, and we're at a local spot that kind of stays lit up at night. And we got the new board with us. Oh, there it is right there. And I am so excited to test this new wheelbase out. Just looking at the nose and how big it is now, and I was just standing on it on the carpet last night. I'm beyond thrilled to see how our pop's gonna feel, how all of our different slappy tricks are gonna feel with the nose. So we're gonna have a little session tonight here, and then I'm thinking tomorrow I have the day off, and we can also go to the skate park during the daytime and give a few more tests to this new wheelbase. So yeah, I'm ready to skate, man. I've been working all day, so let's just do this thing. First pop test. Wow! That felt so crisp. I feel like you guys aren't gonna believe me, because it was just literally, I moved the wheelbase back a 1/4 of an inch, literally 0.25 inches. But that just snapped so much crisper and cleaner with so much less effort than the 15-inch wheelbase. Of course, we haven't done a ton of tests yet, but just off that alone and just feeling how easy it was to do the power slides as well, but still be stable, I'm loving this wheelbase so far. And we've only done like 3 things. Wow! I can't believe how good this thing is popping still. I feel like this is going to be the new thing for us right here, man. A little shorter wheelbase. I have good faith we might even be able to get our heel flips on this thing, you know, with a little bit of practice. But they've already been so close and we've been having the flick down, so I do not see why we won't be able to land a heel flip now on this new setup. Well, on this revitalized setup. Front side 180 time. A little sketchy, but we'll get to the next one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get a little line. I don't know where we're going right now. Half cab? Ooh. All right, now that we're feeling a little warmed up, I kind of want to take it over to this little mani pad curb behind me. Here, let me show you the lights. The lighting's so weird right now. Yeah, and see if we can get a couple ollies up and a couple ollies down and just see how that feels with this new wheelbase. Because right now everything's so crisp. I feel like going up this is going to be so much easier than with the 15-inch wheelbase. Wow, guys, I honestly don't know if y'all will believe this, but I am telling y'all, just re-drilling it a 1/4 inch shorter on this wheelbase is making the hugest difference right now. I just went up that curb 3 times in a row, like almost right off the bat, with barely any warm up, just with the most solid pop, no sketchiness. I felt like I was clearing up the curb so easy. Whereas when this thing had a 15-inch wheelbase, sometimes it would take me like 10 tries to be able to get enough force and enough oomph to actually get up onto that mani pad. I'm telling you guys, like, I like the 15-inch wheelbase for certain things, but so far I'm finding literally no downsides to going a 1/4 inch smaller with this 14.75. Like, it is honestly unbelievable right now how crisp my ollies feel, how much easier it is to ollie up onto things. I feel like this is really going to push my progression in a really, really good way. So I'm super, super happy right now. So I'm thinking next on the agenda is to do a couple slappy nose slides on the little curb here. I waxed this up a couple nights ago and I was able to get a few pretty decent slides. I think I showed one to you guys at the beginning of this video when I was showing kind of my weekly progress and whatnot. But let's just let's use that bigger nose that we have now from redrilling the wheelbase and try to get a nice little nose slide on this again, because it's literally, yeah, 0.25 inch longer of a nose. So it's literally almost 7.5 inches now, which is going to be a lot of room to slide on this thing. Ooh, we got a little slide. Crazy show. Oh, even with that last one sliding a little bit, I still just went and grabbed my wax because honestly this thing is very fresh of a curb. I only waxed it for the first time I think like 2 days ago, and it's also like 45 degrees outside, so it's kind of sticky. But check this out, got something called curb snot. It's from the same people who make heroin skateboards. So picked this up at the local skate shop and I thought it was cool. It was like $6, so more expensive than normal wax. But I feel like I'm just gonna keep the container after anyway, so it was worth it. Oh yeah, that's way better, that's way better. When in doubt, wax the shit out of the curb. Ooh, okay, half cab. All right, so slappy nose slides. Not feeling too bad. I know this isn't the best spot to kind of show it off. It's also dark and from a far angle. The curb is very, very fresh and not super slidey yet. But just overall, I was able to get it to slide a few times pretty well. Having that big nose is very confidence inspiring. Having the shorter wheelbase allows me to have a little bit tighter of a stance and a little bit easier to push up onto the curb, if you know what I'm saying. So no complaints there either. I feel like I want to go to a few other spots to do some real testing, but we are at the infamous ride-on curb right here, so I got to do at least a few 50-50s before we progress on. So let's do that real quick and then we'll go hit some other spots. All right, guys, so here we are at the next spot. I've actually never filmed here before because they're so new. Over the summer, the local college that I live next to kind of added these two huge parking blocks just in this little parking area, and it's usually not very crowded. And these things slide like butter, man. As you can tell, me and my friends already broke them in quite a bit. But yeah, right now I just want to test this new wheelbase out on it. I feel like it's going to be easier to snap in and out of the board slides, hopefully. I want to get a couple slappy board slides to regular and then a couple to fakie. And believe it or not, the ones to fakie are a lot harder for me, so let's see if we can get it done. Ooh. Just gotta get my legs warm. Ooh. They're feeling a little twitchier coming off, but it's only the first two, so let's give it a few more and then we can make a little bit better of a judgment on this wheelbase for these slappy board slides. Ooh. All right, so now that my legs are feeling more warmed up for this trick, it honestly doesn't feel twitchy at all. I think I was just like having to get used to it because I was sitting in the car for a little bit before this, and it's, like I said, like 45 degrees outside, so I am a little cold. But now that I'm feeling warm, those last like 3 or 4 ones felt really, really smooth. So honestly, no complaints with this wheelbase about doing this trick. If anything, it is a little snappier to get on and off, and I am not complaining. Now, I think it's time to try a couple ones to fakie. Like I said before, going to fakie for this trick is much harder for me than coming out regular. I don't know what it is. I just trust coming out to regular so much more. But if we could just land 1 or 2 to fakie, I would be very, very happy. Ooh. Oh, my wheel got stuck. Oh, that was it. Oh. I would take that. I don't even care. Oh my god, guys. I don't think you guys understand. I was just trying that board slide to fakie for well over an hour. I don't even know what time it is. I just know that my camera was recording for over an hour. I'm going to edit out most of that and just put in that we tried for however long it was. But I hate that trick so much, man. It has nothing to do with the wheelbase of the new board. I've been trying this trick on the past wheelbase too, to no luck. You saw, like, I toe dragged so bad on that last one and just fought with everything in my heart and soul to stay on the board, just because the fact that it started raining. And I don't know if it's going to keep raining because I still wanted to go skate the two-stair on this new wheelbase, so I'm hoping it doesn't keep raining. But that was the worst, almost awful battle of skateboarding in my life right now. I literally just wanted to be so done. I wanted to give up, but I didn't. I literally battled that for over an hour. I don't even like that trick. You will not see me do another board slide to fakie, I promise you. And you will not be seeing me do that anytime soon. Board slide to regular is just so much more natural for me and so much more enjoyable. I'm going to do 2 more board slide to regulars just to lock those back in, just so we have a good feeling trick to end this little curb off with. All right, guys, so it's starting to rain a little more. It's getting pretty late. It's already like 11 p.m. I'm feeling so drained from trying those board slide to fakies for over an hour, but I really want to see how this new wheelbase performs on stairs. So you know where we're at. I just pulled up to the little local 2-stair. I'm literally just going to hit it a handful of times just to get an idea for the pop on this thing now, and then I think we're going to head back to the crib because I'm tired right now, man. I worked a full day today before this too, but I'm out here and I'm loving this. You know, I love being on my board, even if we're battling. Even if I say I'm hating it in the moment, this is what brings me joy right here, man. So let's do this thing. A weird ghost pop on that one, but I know we got a few more in us. Woo! Yeah. The rain's coming down now. We just hit that 2-stair in time. All right, guys, so I made it back to my car. We're out of the rain. I'm so glad we got to hit the two-stair after, and I'm so glad that we did get that board slide to fakie, even though it took over an hour, and it was so frustrating. And like I said, in the moment I hated it, but this is what we're here for. We're here to challenge ourselves and make progress. And I'm honestly overall loving this new wheelbase. Really, there's a few more tests I want to do in this video, the main being going to the half pipe at the skate park and trying to lock into some tricks I've been learning there, like my back slashes, my axle stalls, stuff like that. Just seeing how it feels in the transition. So that's the main thing we're going to do at the skate park tomorrow. I'm going to head home and go to bed now, and I will see you guys tomorrow at the skate park to do that final testing on this wheelbase. All right, guys, so it's the next day. I'm over here at the local skate park, about to tear it up in this little half pipe mini ramp thing, whatever you want to call it. I've already warmed up a bit. I didn't want to really film any other tricks today because we already kind of covered most things last night when we were skating. The main thing I want to test out is how this thing feels in transition. The main thing I want to do is just do a couple kick turns to warm up and then try some back 50-50s and axle stalls on the coping, because that's the newest transition trick that I've learned, and I hope we can still do it on this shorter wheelbase without feeling too squirrely. So let's do that test real quick before we end this video off. Also, my apologies if it's windy. It's kind of like a storm coming in right now, but we got a little bit of time, so let's do this thing. All right, so for pumping around in the transition and just cruising, it's honestly feeling pretty good. If anything, I'm not losing really any stability, but I am getting my kick turns and stuff a lot quicker, and I'm really not feeling sketched out at all. So I think I'm ready to try these back 50-50 grinds and maybe a couple axle stalls to put it to the final test here. Just gotta get my legs ready. I feel like I didn't bring my back foot all the way in like I was supposed to, and I kind of hesitated. Got it. I'll take that. All right, guys, so here we are. It is the next day once again. I kind of had to dip pretty quick from the skate park yesterday after doing that transition testing on the new wheelbase, but I just looked back over the footage, and I'm honestly really impressed with how this new wheelbase is performing in the transition. Like I said, it's a 1/4 inch smaller than what we're used to, so I figured that it might be a little sketchy when we were doing our transition tricks, but all that felt really good. Just pumping in the transition, doing the axle stalls and the back 50-50s on the coping, all of it felt so smoothly. If anything, it was easier to pivot into those axle stalls and whatnot. And I honestly didn't feel any squirreliness in my trucks, which I was kind of anticipating because I've always heard if you go to a smaller wheelbase in transition that it might feel kind of squirrely, but honestly, it was still very stable, and all of the tricks that we've been learning felt phenomenal. I feel like I don't have to say a lot more in this outro because kind of throughout the video, I was giving all of my opinions on how everything felt. But overall, this was a really seamless, wonderful experience. The tool from Chem's worked so well to actually re-drill it. And I'm very pleased. I honestly don't see myself going back up to a 15-inch wheelbase anytime soon, just because this 14.75-inch wheelbase is kind of catering to all the needs in my riding style right now, and I think it's just going to progress our ollies, our flip tricks, and everything else in the right direction. I could honestly see myself even going to a 14.5-inch wheelbase in the future once we get more comfortable on this as well, because this was a very seamless transition, like I said once again. And I'm just very happy to have a tool like this from Chem's where I can actually customize all of my setups to my riding style needs. So if in the future we start doing a lot more flip tricks, then we can take these bigger boards that I have with the big wheelbases and re-drill them even smaller to where we still have that room on our board to land, but we're flipping the board a lot easier. So honestly, to wrap this video up, if you want to cater your board to your riding style and have a very nice feeling customized setup, then I definitely recommend you getting one of these tools from Chem's, because they are really, really easy to use and they're really gonna up your customization and your board feel to the next level. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. I think that's going to be this video because it is very, very long already. I think we're already past the 35-minute mark. But if you did stick around this long to watch the outro, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you guys in next week's video because we got something really special coming next week. Thank you guys so much. Peace.